Hey guys, the mate with two knights is really tough, but knowing certain key positions will make it a lot simpler. In this video I will show you those positions as I solve a practical example. Keep watching. So I'm playing this tutorial from chess.com. The plan to win this endgame, first of all we need to block the pawn, and later we will create a mating net, forcing the king to go to the corner of the board with the king and probably the other knight that can actually move a little more. And once the king is in the corner that we have created the mating net, we can move the knight blocking the pawn, and we are going to give checkmate. But remember, we shouldn't capture that pawn at any point, because usually when we capture it's going to be a draw. So this is a good moment to improve our king. Of course we will need it, and we need to make some progress over there. Let's say king d2 is fine, and okay, and then king e3. So one of the positions I really want you to learn from this video is when we are blocking the pawn with the two knights, like here. Usually it's going to be really helpful because we are going to be controlling many squares. For example, observe here, we are controlling all these squares with the knights. That's really good. That means that the king will be forced to move over a hole here or here, and that's usually what we need, because then with our king we will be pushing the king to the corner of the board, and then it should be a little easier. So let's see how we can make some progress. I will play king d4, that should be fine, and then let's say king c3. At some point we can move the knight if we need, the knight from e4 I mean, but as long as we keep it there we are controlling many squares, just saying that. Okay, so knight here, let's see, then king here, and then king here. Yeah, this is looking good. I already pushed the king to the corner, and then I come back to this idea of the two knights controlling many squares. So king f8, let's see, I'm planning to advance a little. Yeah, this should be fine. And yeah, at some point the king can escape over here, but I think I have something against that. So let's see how it goes. Oh, the king is coming back now. Well, this is not so bad. I can still make sure the king will have to go to this corner of the board, and this should still be fine. So king g5, king g7, knight e4, and knight here and knight here. Okay. So yeah, king g5 is good, and if he tries to escape over there, I have something planned. This position is something I already know, I have already studied, and it was that at some point if the king was trying to escape over here, I was planning to put the knight over here. Then I could be controlling all these squares with the two knights, and the king won't be able to escape because I created a wall over there. However, the computer didn't try to escape. The computer is just playing king here. So let's continue maneuvering then, and probably this is a good move, knight d6. And also I like knight e8 here, because then the king won't be able to come back to g7, and then I go to f6. This has to be good for me. And this is also a key position I want to highlight in this endgame. Usually when you can put your king in this square, 2 squares from the corner, it's going to be really helpful, because then using the king and the knight you will be able to trap the king. At least you will make sure the king is not escaping. So that's like an in-between step we will need to do almost always. And let me show you. For example, here is attacking the knight, and for example knight g7, and look at this. I'm controlling here all these squares, so it's like a case there. The king cannot escape. Of course, we need to continue thinking and maneuvering. That's something we need to do always in this endgame. Of course, it's tough, but these little steps, these little intermediate steps, are definitely going to help us to make it a little easier. It looks like it's a good moment to maneuver with the other knight. That's what I'm thinking. So let's see. So let's try knight g4 here. I know this pawn is advancing a little now, but I don't really care that much because this pawn is actually controlling an important square here. The combination of the king here on 6 bishop, just to say it in a general name, and a knight here next to the king, 2 knights next to the king, is actually very helpful. I will be controlling many squares, and usually there is checkmate very soon if I can get that. So I don't like the pawn there because I cannot put a knight here or a knight here because I could be capturing the pawn. So the fact that the pawn advances this time is not a big deal, at least not in this position now. So I'm looking at this move, knight h6, which actually forces the the pawn to advance. I don't know if it's winning, but it looks like something we want to do. And I'm going to block the pawn again. Yeah, I'm going to block the pawn again because now I'm ready to go to f5. I'm sure this position is winning. And yeah, one knight goes here. Yeah, this is looking really good because now I can put the 2 knights both next to the king. And as I said, this is like another key position we need to remember. Usually when we get that, we have mate really soon. So let's see, knight f5, and well, he can move the pawn, but then I move my king. He moves, I check. Yeah, it's mate. So let's see, knight f5, and the idea is that with my king I will be controlling these 3 squares or these 3 squares. So once I get that, all I will need to do is to control the square next to the corner, either this or this, and the square of the corner. So I think that's something we can do with the 2 knights. So yeah, knight f5 should be winning. And well, he doesn't move the pawn, he moves the king. So we said we would control 3 squares with the king, and 1 square with a knight, and the other square of the corner with the other knight. So it looks like this move is going to be winning, because now he has to move the pawn, and then we maneuver, and then we finally give the mate. If you guys have any question, let me know in the comments. Check out this video over here, I'm sure you will like it. Thank you, like, subscribe, see you on the next.